Happy Saturday, everyone, and happy Mother's Day weekend to all the lovely mothers out there. Welcome to the May 11th, 2024 edition of CP Sports. As always, I'm your host, Chris, and today I'm joined by my co-host, Pat.
How y'all doing today? I like the new setup, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going live today. It's crazy.
So how you been, Pat? It's been a while.
I've been doing good, just out here doing shows, getting ready to... I wasn't trying my EP, but I decided to put more songs on there, and I have another joint project with my friend Big Homie Ice coming out soon. Okay. So, yeah, we got a lot of things going on as far as the music going on, so...
That's awesome. That's good to hear, man. I'm glad you're doing well. It's it's been a while that everybody heard from you as well, so I'm sure it's nice to have you back. Anyways, let's get into things. As things are getting heated this playoff season, we saw Pat Beverly play dodgeball with one of the crowds in Indiana last week. The NBA announced yesterday that Beverly will be suspended for 4 games without pay for throwing a ball at fans and quote-unquote inappropriate interaction with ESPN producer Melinda Adams. He refused to talk to her for the interview after the game because she was not subscribed to his podcast.
That guy is petty. First off, why are you throwing balls at fans, and then for you just to be unprofessional on camera because somebody doesn't follow your podcast?
Yeah, he actually had her removed from the locker room, which is why that came into consideration as well during his punishment. He did take to his podcast later, saying that he takes responsibility. He was called something that he's never been called before by a fan, apparently. We don't know what that was. If he's just saying that kind of to save face or not. It just depends on what's going on there. They are launching the cops are launching an investigation into the matter, and they say they take everything seriously. We don't know what's going to come of it, but I would imagine there's nothing going to happen when it comes to that side of things. But he did get suspended for 4 games without pay. And I just feel like it should have been a little harsher. He threw the ball. It smacked a lady in the crowd right in the face. He looked like he asked for it back when he put his hand up. The other dude in the crowd tossed it back to him, and he just chunked it back into the crowd again.
Wow.
So apparently he was called something that he's never been called before. And he took to his podcast to apologize, saying no matter what, that's no excuse, and he shouldn't have acted that way, and he needs to be better. True. So we'll see if he does get better. But Jamal Murray was also heated himself in Game 2 against the Timberwolves on Monday. He made a money sign at an official early in the second and threw a towel at an official later on, which was I want to say it was later in the second. I can't remember exactly when it was, but he felt like he didn't get enough on that towel and opted to throw a heating pad. Murray didn't speak after the game, and when he was asked on Wednesday, he said, "Nah, it is what it is, and I take everything in full responsibility. So on to the next." It doesn't sound like he takes any responsibility with this half-hearted apology to me.
Yeah, he sounded like he wasn't interested in giving an apology in the first place. I don't even understand. Like, people just need to control their emotions, especially when you're out there in the public eye and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't understand why he would do that. You're putting your own teammates at risk at the same time because you're throwing that heating pad onto the court. Someone can slip on it. Your own teammate can come down from trying to get the rebound and slip on it and hurt themselves. Like, you're just putting everybody at risk. And Murray did avoid suspension, but he is getting fined $100,000 I
Wow.
feel like he should have been at least suspended, but I know they take the pass into consideration, like Patrick Beverly. He's had pass discretions many times, so I would imagine that came into play as well. But Murray did bounce back from a rough semifinal start, sinking 24 in Game 3. Michael Porter Jr. put up 24, and three-time MVP Nikola Jokic added 24 with 14 rebounds plus 9 assists. At one point, the Timberwolves trailed by as much as 34 points. Anthony Edwards led the Wolves with just 19 points, and Karl Anthony Towns hit only 14 as Minnesota fell to Denver 117-90. Game 4 tips off tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. Minnesota now still leads in this series 2-1. Now, as things came to a boiling point in the NBA, same goes for the NHL. Between the Bruins and Panthers, nonetheless, with Boston trailing 6-1, top winger Pastrnak and Panthers forward Kachuk started swinging with just 7 minutes left. Cameras showed what seemed to be Bruins coach Jim Montgomery giving Pastrnak the nod of approval. Montgomery denies giving his approval, but wasn't against the fight, saying, quote, "I'm really proud of Pasta. He just went in there and fought. You like your hockey players to be competitors," end quote. But he didn't appreciate Kachuk getting a few blows in as Pastrnak fell to the ice. Panthers coach Paul Maurice thought it was awesome. Both men received penalties for fighting along with game misconduct. But last night, Florida was able to pull off another blowout, winning 6-2 after a sluggish start to Game 3, where the Bruins were outshot 13-3 in the first period and 24-8 by the time Florida stretched the lead to 3-0. The Bruins coach Montgomery ended up taking full responsibility, saying, quote, we've had a couple of games where we started slow. We haven't generated much offense. I have to give it to players. I have to give the players a better plan. Florida was significantly better than us. I got to come up with a better game plan, end quote.
Man, well, at least in hockey, when you fight, you know, it's kind of praised, unlike people throwing basketballs at people in the crowd. But
well, that's different. That's what the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. I know, but still, you know, hockey's hockey, man. That's a great comeback, though. You know, 6-2, they blew them out again. You said this isn't the first time.
Yeah, this is their second blowout. Now they lead the series 2-1. Boston will move on to the NBA playoffs before we get too deep into the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. As we move on to another Boston team, little teaser for you there to stay tuned for the NHL portion. We also have some game news, the boxing matchups coming up, the ones that we saw, and Backlash. So
yeah,
keep it locked. Let's get back into the NBA playoffs, though. As last night we saw, or was this last night? No, this was the night before. We saw the Cleveland Cavaliers were able to do what they couldn't all season, and that's dominate the Celtics. I have to say, they did beat them once in the regular season. And yeah, that's cool, but it was only by 1 point. So moving forward to the playoffs, moving forward to the playoffs, the Boston was just basically torched by Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell hit what was it, 29 points. Evan Mobley scored 21 points with 10 rebounds. The rest of the starting line clocked double digits, and Chris LeVert came off the bench, putting up 21 to help the Cavs answer Boston with a blowout of their own. 118-94, tying this series at 1. Jason Tatum did score 25 points for Boston, and Jaylen Brown added 19, but Derek White struggled all night, only putting up 10 of his and missing 7 of his 8 threes. The Celtics are in Cleveland tonight for Game 3 at 7:30 p.m. Central. Man, speaking of Derek White, I'll never get used to his bald head. I was so used to seeing him in San Antonio with that little bro thing or whatever he had going on there.
His Burt haircut. His
Burt haircut. That's a good one.
That's crazy.
Well, at least after this blowout, we had ourselves a game between the Mavs and Thunder. PJ Washington and Luka Doncic scored 29 points. Luka accounted for 10 rebounds, while PJ retrieved 11, and Tim Hardaway hit 17 off the bench to put Dallas over on OKC 119-110. Now, OKC did fall victim to injuries, missing Jay Williams and Aaron Wiggins, and it showed last night. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander made 33 with 12 rebounds. Jalen Williams hit 20, and Chet Holmgren racked 11, but the rest of the team had only single digits. I love the chemistry I'm seeing from Dallas. Everyone is on the same page. They're always where they need to be, and they know how to move the rock, control the clock, and just make things happen. Dallas is back home for Game 3 today. Here in a little bit at 2:30 p.m. Central as they look to take the lead in this series.
Like Dallas has always been one of them sleeper teams, man. Like, you know, everybody be sleeping on Dallas because they're not a top contender, but they can always be a top contender. You never know when that might happen.
Yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing from them. I'm hoping they are able to pull this one off and move forward. I don't see OKC winning after this.
I'm just going for Dallas because they're not the Cowboys, and you know the Spurs end up in that thing. So just the second best Texas team in NBA.
Well, anyway, let's move forward. The New York Knicks look to go up 3-0 in their series against the Indiana Pacers last night after Jalen Brunson made his best Frankenstein impersonation, going down in the first and being retrieved in the second half to score 24 of his 29 points. Questions loomed if he'd be healthy enough for Game 3. Same went for OG Anunoby, who hit a career high of 28 points before going down in the third. Anunoby was rolled out for the days before the game, while Brunson was questionable until game time. Jalen Brunson did in fact play, and the injury-ridden Knicks wouldn't go down without a fight, allowing one 10-point lead all game, and that was only in the first. From then on, it was a tight game with DiVincenzo showing out once again with 35 points, and Brunson didn't miss a beat, adding 26. New York took the lead late in the third and maintained it for the majority of the fourth. With 5 minutes left, Indiana regained the lead, and both teams shared the lead for the remainder of the game. In the end, the short-handed Knicks were no match for the Pacers as Halliburton hit 35, Siakam put up 26, and Turner added 21 to help Indiana avoid the 3-0 hole, defeating New York 111-106. They remain in Indiana for Game 4 tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Central.
Dang, New York sound like they're killing it right now.
They're doing real well, man. I'm hoping everything goes good. I don't know though. They have a lot of injuries. They're dealing with all of that, so I'm kind of worried for them. We'll see what happens. I think they can still pull it off, seeing as just now how they were so bad, and they were, or not bad. They weren't bad.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that, but they were hurt. So you'd imagine that further down the line they can get better. Even with them being hurt, they barely let the Pacers win. So I'm really rooting for New York in this one. I kind of want the Pacers to win at the same time, just because of the whole Reggie Miller thing with Spike Lee and all that. But I'm really rooting for the Knicks in this one. But moving forward, as we speak, New York will move on to hold on. We'll move on to the Rangers, the New York Rangers, who remain undefeated this postseason with a beautiful tip-in from Panarin, who redirected the puck between his legs for a game-winning goal just a minute and 43 seconds into overtime against the Hurricane. New York looks to pull off another sweep when they meet again tonight at 6 p.m. Central. The Dallas Stars were able to tie the series with the Colorado Avalanche after blowing a 3-point lead in Game 1 and losing in overtime. Heiskin kicked the game off with his 12th career playoff goal, third most in franchise history. Hence followed up with a beautifully timed slap shot early in the second. Heiskin hit another goal off a wrist shot, and Seguin had a wrist shot of his own right before the end of the second. Colorado finally got things going in the third, scoring within the first 4 minutes. Bam, 4 minutes later, another one, and boom, with a third with 4 minutes left. It looked like we might have another comeback on our hands, but the Stars were able to close it out, holding Colorado to 3 and slapping one last goal in with 20 seconds left. Jake Ottinger had 28 saves against Colorado, who led the NHL in scoring to help defeat the Avalanche 5 to 3. Dallas is in Colorado tonight for Game 3 at 9 p.m. Central. And much like Colorado, the Vancouver Canucks overcame their own 3-point deficit. In Game 1 against the Edmonton Oilers, Vancouver trailed by 2 at the end of the first period. And then Dakota Joshua answered back early in the second. The Oilers increased their lead by 3 midway through the second, and the Canucks hit another goal right before the end of the second. The next goal didn't come until the middle of the third, when Nikita Vadrov sank a slap shot, and not even a minute later, Connor Garland smacked in the last goal as Vancouver held Edmonton scoreless for the remainder of the game to pull off a beautiful comeback victory 5-4. Last night, Edmonton and Vancouver were tied for the majority of the game, trailing by 1 to start the third. Connor McDavid scored for the Oilers just 5 minutes in to tie it up for the last time. And Edmonton put Vancouver away in overtime with a game-winning shot from Evan Bouchard. 5.5 minutes left, tying the series at 1-1. So we're gonna move from some hard-hitting playoffs to some hard-hitting boxing, as we did see the fight with Jaime Munguia and Canelo. Munguia did have rhythm early on. He wasn't the same once he got knocked down for the first time in the fourth with a perfectly timed counter from Canelo. Munguia was on spaghetti legs for the rest of the fourth, barely getting by. He threw the most punches from then on, having some slip through and rock Canelo a little bit, but Canelo stayed calm, collected, and the entire time just hit some beautiful counters, getting a few combos in and ultimately outpointing Munguia.
Well, I just want to say that there's a lot of people with salt in their wounds because Canelo came out on top. But I've grown to realize that you really can't count him out, because no matter how much people love him or hate him, Canelo's a good boxer. And I'm one of those people who've been salty before. I've seen him beat Triple G twice. I was mad about that. One time it was a tie. It was unfortunate. But a lot of people thought Munguia was going to win. I even saw someone at work the other day pay up for a bet. He said, "Where's my money at?" So it was hilarious. But like I said, Canelo's a pound for pound fighter. Like, you can't take that away from him. Like, he's a champ for a reason.
For a second, I do want to, recognize everybody that is watching the stream. We appreciate you watching. We thank you for giving us likes, share, subscribe, whatever, to continue supporting. We appreciate all your support. Hello, everybody. Hey, Strauss. Thank you for the compliments, everyone. We hope y'all are having a great weekend. Let's get things, or keep things going, I guess I should say. We did see, or let me get more on Canelo. We did see that Canelo was saying that he could do whatever he wants when it comes to fighting what's his name, Benavidez, and he was saying that he's basically the best out there, and now that he proved it, he can do what he wants. He doesn't have to fight. We'll see what happens. Honestly, I think it may go down eventually, but it'll probably be later down the road when it doesn't matter. To be honest with you, they're gonna hold this one off way too long. Let me do something real quick, and you take the rank real quick.
Okay, well, like I say, like as far as Canelo, we just gotta face it that he's one of the best champs of all time right now. I can't even tell you when the last time he lost the fight. I really can't even think about the last time he lost the fight. I'm not sure if it was a few years back, a couple years back. You remember?
It was I want to say it was a few years back, but I'm not entirely sure. Let me get this back going. I'm sorry about that. One of the things from our setup messed up here, but I got it going again. So let's get back into it. Naoya Inoue had a fight as well on Monday and was dropped for the first time in his career. But bounced back, flooring Louis Nuri 3 times, going on to retain his undisputed junior featherweight championship with a 6-round KO victory. Hold on, let me get back into it. Okay. It was a beautiful comeback from Inoue. It shocked me to see him grounded. I enjoyed every minute of this bout, though. And if you haven't checked it out, I would suggest you can go and see it for yourself, see a replay, whatever have you. But on from some boxing to a couple of boxing scandals, Ryan Garcia has opted for a B sample. Garcia initially tested positive for a metabolite, but the results were unconfirmed. Upon further analysis, it was confirmed to be negative. He also tested positive for, I think you say it like Austrian. So despite being cleared of one substance, we're still waiting for the B sample results. And even though they are pending, Garcia has picked his next opponent, claiming he'll be taking on Earl Spence Jr. August 10th at AT&T Stadium.
Where? That's soon?
August 10th.
In Dallas?
Yeah, at AT&T Stadium.
For a second, I was thinking like AT&T Center. That's why I kind of like blanked out right there. I was like, oh man, San Antonio, I want to see that.
Yeah, but well, we don't even have AT&T anymore.
I know, it's the Frost Bank Center now. That's I was reevaluating what I was thinking. But yeah, I mean, I heard all about that. His him coming up dirty or something like that. There's so many different things they can't do and can't take, and I'm not even sure what those 2 medicines are, what they are, but But it's just crazy, and like I just saw the controversy, and just for it to come out to be nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, we'll find out once that sample comes up. But there was some other things that went down. Well, before I get into that, I guess I should bring up that Vasily Lomachenko, who lost to Haney, who Garcia beat.
Yeah.
And Teofimo Lopez, like right before that, he looks to climb back up the mountain as he fights tonight against George Kambosos Jr. I would suggest if you haven't seen Lomachenko fight, it's a sight to see. He's a great boxer. Unfortunately, he had some hiccups. Of course, we didn't agree with Haney beating him on that decision.
Yeah,
we had that on that when we were a different brand. But we'll see how he does. It's been a while since he fought. I'm hoping he comes back with a vengeance and just takes out Kambosos. But I don't know. That's going to be hard for him. Kambosos is good too. So it's going to be a good matchup. Go check it out if you get the chance. I believe it's on ESPN+. But moving on to some more controversy, the WBC decided to strip Jermell Charlo of his middleweight title Tuesday after Charlo was arrested for DWI. Jermell was arrested Monday evening and charged with 3 misdemeanors. Along with the DWI, he was also charged with fleeing the scene of an accident and eluding police. Jermell's blood alcohol content was above 0.15, more than twice the legal limit. WBC president said in a statement, quote, "The WBC has provided and will continue to do as much as possible to support Jermell Charlo during his difficult times. With regards to his mental wellness, the WBC will closely look with PBC in securing the best course of action to attend to Jermell's needs at this moment," end quote.
Man, as far as boxing, man, I think like boxing wasn't really dead, but like the boxing world's on fire, man. There's just so many different names, you know, out there, like, you know, Charlo and Lomachenko and Haney, and you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy to see how like it got back like a boom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you think about it, these scandals doesn't do any.
It doesn't do any justice because it's gonna end up back in obscurity where it was, like
exactly
from like when we were in the late '80s, early '90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s. Like, man, wrestling's been more popular than boxing the past couple years, and it's just good to see them get back to where they were.
Speaking of that, since you bring up wrestling, we're gonna move on from the boxing ring to the wrestling ring.
Ding, ding, ding.
The bloodline is really cooking now. Backlash was kicked off in a big way as RKO, otherwise known as Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, took on Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. A brawl ensued before the match, making Nick Aldis opt to make this no disqualification. Orton and Owens looked to be the victors as they picked Tama Tonga apart, but as the three was about to be counted, the ref was pulled out by someone in a hoodie, and I thought you were here. I thought that's too small to be Jacob.
Yeah,
who is that?
I mean, I'm automatically just I didn't see no dreads. Jacob's chubby like me, so it wasn't him.
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay, so who is this? Boom, the hoodie gets pulled down, and it's Tonga Loa.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it either. We both talked for that one.
There was no news on nothing about
I don't think I saw anything about that. So we are getting the Gorillas of Destiny reuniting in the WWE ring for the first time. So welcome back, Camacho.
Oh, God.
For showing up on Cinco de Mayo weekend. You think they did that on purpose? I think they did that on purpose.
Maybe. Remember last time you were here, you were Camacho. Remember that? That's horrible.
So for those who don't know, Tongalo was Camacho early on in his career with WWE, where he portrayed a Mexican.
But he's Samoan.
Yeah, and it was not good.
Yeah, no. He just showed me a
which is
clip
why
earlier.
some of y'all probably never heard of it.
It was bad. It was bad. But it's awesome. And Chris called this a couple years back. Like, a couple years back, he said, man, imagine Usos versus Gorillas of Destiny. And looks like we're going to get Usos.
We're finally going to get it.
Yeah.
I even said it whenever they had went into free agency. It was like, Usos and Gorillas, it has to happen. And I'm sure it is going to happen. We are still awaiting Jacob Fatu showing up. And there's rumblings, I guess. They're kind of worried that he might outshine Solo. I mean, I've seen the rumors, which he would outshine Solo.
I mean,
obviously. But I'm thinking they're going to end up bringing him up to attack Solo and take over the Gorillas.
That would
Boom,
be better.
Solo ends up back with the Usos. Roman comes back. He goes back to his faithful Usos and Solo, opting to help out when Jacob goes to attack them with the Gorillas. Then next thing you know, boom, it's cooking.
Oh, no.
The Rock shows up.
That's inevitable, but...
And then, bam, we get to Survivor Series. It's Bloodline versus Bloodline. And it's an all-out brawl at that
Civil War.
The real Civil War.
But I kind of like what they're doing with Solo, so I would hope they don't kick him out the Bloodline. I want to see him as a tribal chief, man, and that's my boy, man.
Jacob?
No, well, I always said he's a tribal chief, but I'm talking
he's
about...
always disagreed in interviews.
He's always disagreed, yeah.
But I love that.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, he's playing his part, but I would love to see Solo fill that role. I mean, look how he looks on TV. He got the suit, and he's serious. You know what I'm saying? It looks good on him.
Yeah, it does look good. And then last night he was getting after Paul Heyman and saying, "I'm the tribal chief now."
Yeah. I'm in charge now.
It was great. I'm loving what they're doing with this Bloodline story, and I'm really looking forward to it. But after Tongaloa showed up, Solo then hit the Uranagi and a spike to win the match. I figured it was going to be them going over in this one.
Yeah,
I didn't see that happening, so I was happy about that.
I saw them winning like with a surprise, but I wasn't expecting it to be Tongaloa.
Yeah, me either, and I'm excited to see what they do next, especially with the match I've been wanting to see with the Usos and the Gorillas of Destiny. It's been having to happen for a while now, and it's nice to see more Bloodline members and more Bullet Club members make their way to the WWE from New Japan. So
some would say
I'm excited
it's
for that.
too sweet.
This matchup was followed by the WWE Women's Championship Triple Threat. Naomi and Bayley took out Stratton early on and focused on each other, allowing Tiffany to recuperate and make a nice comeback, intensifying the action. After a pair of Alabama slams, Tiffany Stratton set up for the double prettiest moonsault ever, but was intercepted by both women with what seemed to be a modified 3D. Naomi attempted to pin Bayley, but Bayley reversed with one of her own to retain the championship. And to be honest with you, I get the ending. I just didn't care for it.
Yeah, that was like very abrupt.
Yeah, it didn't seem.
Even I watched.
I don't think it did justice for the match.
It did.
In other words.
And then the crowd was just like, "Oh, like what the heck happened?" Like that was like felt rushed.
Yeah,
because that freaking
it was like that. It was like
loud.
It was real abrupt. They were quiet.
Yeah, like they would not shut up the whole pay-per-view, but they're like, "What the heck?" Like
yeah. So it was crazy to see it happen that way. But of course we saw Damian Priest retain, which we figured it was still a decent matchup that kept fans on their toes. It was an exciting back and forth match, which looked like it was going to end with a spear followed by Uso splash, but JD McDonough put Priest's foot on the bottom rope. Distracted by Judgment Day, Jay allowed Priest to recover. Boom, South of Heaven choke slam. 1, 2, 3. And at the end, Balor and JD attempted to jump Jay, but they were shut down by the World Heavyweight Champion.
So, in my opinion, I felt like all of this made Damian Priest look weak. Because I feel like he doesn't need his boys' help. But I know it's probably part of the story. I'm sure he's going to
keep him heel.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to end up turning face eventually.
He pushed the heck out of Finn's face. Like, he pushed him into the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
You know, so I know they're going to end up turning him face, and Judgment Day's going to turn on him soon. There's going to be jealousy.
Yep.
But, you know, I'm just like, I didn't like the way this made him look. Like, they could have did something better, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe
I
it's
know
just
what you mean.
It's just JD's face. Like, I feel like when I see JD's
face,
they should do to JD what Vince wants to do to Christians, put a blue dot on his head every time they see him.
Oh man, that's messed up.
Nobody likes JD, bro.
We did see a title change hands as Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair went over on the Kabuki Warriors for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. I feel like this match was perfect to put over Cargill and Belair. Both women look superhuman. They're continuing to build Jade up, and she's just going to continue to get better alongside Bianca. The Kabuki Warriors took control early on, and it just didn't go well after a while as their fast offense was no match for the power of Jade and Bianca. They were tossed, the Kabuki Warriors were tossed around the ring, and Jade Cargill reversed an insane elbow, hitting Jaded, and Bianca Belair hit KOD on Asuka to win the WWE Women's Championships.
Woo! A storm is coming. But seeing a lot of people, she's still not ready. She's been ready. Mentally, they just have to put her in the right place.
She has
what better
small
place?
hiccups. It's not even like it's like a huge botch where if you weren't paying entirely enough attention that you just wouldn't notice.
If we were watching AEW back then you see a lot of hiccups, but
that's because they also have some younger talent that's not as experienced as well. So that comes with the territory.
Yeah. But I mean, it was awesome to see Jade win a championship with Bianca, like Chris said. You know, it's going to make her look better. It's going to make her look stronger. Being with Bianca, she's going to learn a lot more. Bianca's been under the learning tree for how many years? Like almost 10. You know, so Jade's just getting the feel for WWE.
And it's just
right
like
now.
Jade said, with the machine behind her, she can't lose.
Yeah, she can't, bro. She's gonna be like, I'm telling you right now.
Huge.
I'm saying this right now.
Sure.
She's gonna be the female Rock one of these days, bro. Acting, everything. She's gonna be huge one day. Watch.
That's a pretty bold prediction.
But you see when she talks about it.
Yeah.
Her eyes light up like she believes it.
Yeah,
so.
I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
The show did close out with the WWE champion Cody Rhodes retaining against AJ Styles. Of course, we knew this was going to happen, but what a match this was.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it was a seesaw of a match with expertly countered maneuvers and some great false finishes. AJ Styles hit the Burning Hammer, which I haven't seen him use in a while.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes then rallied after kicking out, hitting a super Cody cutter, and boom, across Rhodes, Cody retained.
You also did that 450 springboard splash. I ain't seen him do that in a long time.
It looked beautiful.
It did.
It looked just like he used to.
Yeah, I just need my boy to give me one more spinal tap before his body gives out on him. But yeah, man, Backlash was great. Like this, they've been saying this whole Triple H era has been kicking off pretty damn well. You know,
yeah, when I was on the air with Mike last week, he was saying how it felt kind of just thrown together. There was some sort of build-up. I wouldn't say it was just thrown together.
Cody and
no,
AJ.
the Backlash period, like the whole card. Which I mean, I guess I could see it in that sense, just a little bit, but I feel like this was a great pay-per-view.
If it was thrown together, they did a great job.
Yeah, they still made something out of it. They still told a story. They still furthered all the storylines. So I don't see anything wrong with it.
I just also felt like the distance between WrestleMania and Backlash was like super quick. I think it was like 2 to 3 weeks. So I mean,
yeah, I guess you could put that into factor as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a good pay-per-view overall. I enjoyed this pay-per-view, and I'm sure the fans had something to do with it for me, because when the fans are into it, that's when you're paying the most attention.
These international shows have been crazy, man. Like that, I want.
Sometimes they didn't shut up though. They were getting
yeah, but like last year when they went to Puerto Rico, man, if I was in that crowd, man, I would love to be in a crowd like that.
Yeah.
You know, and I also love how like the fans from everywhere else, they're like so respectful too. I mean, I love America, but we're kind of crappy fans sometimes, man. Honestly,
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, being honest,
you're not wrong. They are.
Out of respect for the athletes and everybody else who you know we pay to see, you know, let them do their job. Let us be entertained. But let's go ahead and go on to the Queen and King of the Ring tournament.
I'm excited for this one, man. How long has it been since they did that? Because I think it was like Xavier Woods win, and that was like 2 years ago or something like that.
2-3 years ago.
I wanted them to bring back the King of the Ring pay-per-view, but now they call it Queen and King of the Ring because they have the women's tournament.
Yeah.
So that's fine with me. I'm glad to see it's back. I hope Triple H puts it over better than what Vince did with it. But anyways, moving forward, we did see Gunther defeat Sheamus on Raw in a grueling match. That was a great match. So Gunther is moving forward, and Ilya Dragunov defeated Ricochet to move forward. Jey Uso defeated Finn Balor. Kofi is supposed to take on Rey, which is to be determined. Randy Orton beat AJ Styles on SmackDown last night, and Angelo Dawkins replaced Bobby Lashley, a hurt Bobby Lashley, unfortunately. I'm still upset about that.
Bobby's hurt?
Yeah, Bobby Lashley is now hurt. They had to replace him with Angelo Dawkins. Take on Tama Tonga on SmackDown last night, which Angelo Dawkins, of course, lost. Which I'm glad about that, because if that was the case with Bobby Lashley, I would have been for it.
Yeah.
If that was the case.
Yeah.
But moving forward, that sounds like the old Raw music from the video game. Moving forward, Baron Corbin lost to Carmelo Hayes. That one was a little botched. I don't know if you saw it.
No.
Carmelo Hayes kind of hesitated for a split second before putting him in the little package pin, the small package. And Carmelo ended up winning that one. LA Knight and Santos Escobar is to be determined. Gunther is going on to face whoever wins against Kofi and Rey on Raw, and Jey Uso will take on Ilya Dragunov on Raw as well. As for the women's, Io Sky defeated Natalya, and Lyra Valkyria defeated Dakota Kai, with Zoe Stark beating Ivy Nile, and Shayna Baszler will be taking on Zelina Vega, which is to be determined. Bianca Belair took on Candice LeRae, which was last night. I can't remember who won that one. Was that one Bianca or Candice?
Well, I hope it would be Bianca.
Look it up real quick and we'll move forward down the list. But moving forward, before Bianca met Candice LeRae, Jade Cargill met Piper Niven, which looked like a more serious Piper, which I'm excited for. They made her, I don't know what they did with her when Vince was in charge, but I'm hoping Triple H does take this seriously, or Paul Levesque, I guess you can call him, because it's the Paul Levesque era, as they like to call it.
It's Triple H. Hunter Hearst Helmsley. We're not calling him Paul Levesque.
Anyway, Cargill did defeat Piper, and it was a beautifully executed Jaded that ended the match. Naomi lost to Nia Jax, so Cargill will be meeting Nia, and there's another one I believe is to be determined. Io Sky will face the winner against Baszler and Zelina Vega, while Lyra Valkyria on Raw, and while Lyra Valkyria takes on Zoe Stark on Raw. Who was it that won?
I'm still looking. There's like, oh, hold on.
Damn, man.
Hey. There's a lot of names here, man. I had to make sure it was Bianca we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Bianca won.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah,
I thought so.
I
just know Candice LeRae and Indy are leaning more towards that heel act now.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if something had happened that I forgot about. There's a lot of, getting ready for these episodes, so sometimes I miss things and I apologize. But we will move forward as we already gave out the results. When is Queen and King of the Ring anyway?
I'm not sure. Like later this month or next month?
Yeah, I think it's like. What was it? May 10th? I want to say May 10th.
Yesterday was May 10th.
Or no, not May 10th. June 10th.
May 25th.
Oh, damn. That's quick.
Yeah. That's what I said. This month, next month. Yeah.
Okay, so that one will be taking place in Saudi Arabia, right?
Unfortunately.
It's another one of those early pay-per-views.
Oh, God.
I don't mind them, though. I don't mind them, though.
Well, that one in Perth kind of hurt because that was 4 in the morning.
That was 4 in the morning. I woke up for that one.
Yeah.
But to close out this episode, we do got to bring up some games since it's been a while. We haven't had any game topics, and we're gonna start off for all the soccer fans out there. I know you are sick of EA and their FIFA series and their most recently FC series still not moving the needle. Well, you have to fear no more as 2K is here. Yes, 2K is developing their own soccer game with FIFA 2K. This is welcome news for soccer gamers. It's always been better to have competition as we get the best out of these developers. Now, only if we could get an NFL 2K comeback would be nice.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. We played 2005.
Oh, 2K5?
Yeah, man, that felt like that game was ahead of its time. I don't know why.
The mechanics still felt like they resonate.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But let's move forward to some unfortunate news as Xbox has announced they are closing 3 of their studios. Tango Gameworks, Arcane Austin, and Alpha Dog Games, with 4th support studio, Roundhouse Studios, being absorbed by the team behind Elder Scrolls Online. And unfortunately, we knew this was going to happen eventually with them acquiring Activision Blizzard and all that stuff like that.
Bethesda, yeah.
So they did say they were spread thin as leaders felt understaffed. You'd imagine some projects are now going to get nixed, unfortunately. They said that after acquiring Activision Blizzard, they've also discussed raising the price of Game Pass Ultimate and adding the Call of Duty catalog on there, though. So there's still nothing concrete on this. If they are going to raise up the price, if Call of Duty will show up, hopefully it does for those Game Pass Ultimate players out there. I know I have a subscription myself for my PC gaming and then my kids game on the Xbox. So I'll still be paying for it anyway because those kids are gonna go crazy without those games anyway. But I hope it doesn't raise the price.
That would make me not want to continue to have Game Pass. If you're just gonna make it, well, for me anyway, because I don't play Call of Duty games. Mm-hmm. So if you're gonna raise it just because you want to put games I don't play on there, I'm not paying for that.
I do understand though, like their whole premise. After all this, they haven't really been making much money, but that's their fault for making the Game Pass platform.
Yeah, exactly.
And then further putting more games on there, and day one games at that.
Yeah,
I know they wanted more subscribers and stuff, but now you're gonna have Backlash, which is those subscribers if you up the price. If anything goes down, really.
That's why you get a PlayStation. They don't care about what you want. They put what they want on there, and if you play it, you play it. If you don't, you don't.
I do got a PlayStation Premium account, so that's always nice. I still need to check out that Silent Hill series that they have. There's a Silent Hill series. I don't know if you knew about it on Sony Core, that video app for PlayStation 5.
Okay.
And it's a decision-based series. So it looks just like the game. Everything goes down, but you have your phone and you make decisions on your phone. So you can have a party of people enjoying
cool.
this game or show, if you would call it that.
Bet.
But I believe that's only for Premium Plus members, but I'm not sure. I have to look back on that and get back to y'all. On to one of the leaders in sim racing equipment, Fanatec has now gone bankrupt. From my understanding, they've been in a lot of debt as they continue to take out multiple loans to further develop their equipment despite barely staying afloat. During Black Friday, Fanatec had some amazing deals going on that saw an influx of orders. But due to a system glitch, the inventory did not update as they went out of stock, so they took a major L trying to fulfill all the orders put in. Some still haven't even been fulfilled to this day.
Wow.
And now that Fanatec has gone into bankruptcy, they're said to be acquired by Corsair. I'm kind of on the fence with this news. I'm worried that Corsair might up the price, but Corsair already has their own money. Maybe they'll be able to continue to run the company and innovate the sim racing space. And I've never heard any complaints on Corsair's customer service. So maybe this is better. Maybe this is a better start for sim racers, because those things are expensive, and I'm sure they did compensate some of that price to go into it. Like all the price that they were developing, they took into consideration that they were going bankrupt, I would believe. So it was more expensive. Like the Direct Drive Extreme Gran Turismo Edition, which is the one, because they only have one or two bases now that are compatible with the PS5. Everything else is compatible with the Xbox and the PC.
Yeah.
So just for the wheel and the direct drive base, no shifter, no pedals, no nothing, that bad boy runs you $1,300. Now, the cheaper option is to go with their other GT wheel, their other Gran Turismo wheel, and that one starts at 5 nanometers and goes up to 8 nanometers of torque. And the only thing is they say that 10 is about the most realistic you could feel a car drive. So if you're willing to take that hit, you can get all that with the pedals, no shifter though, for I believe it's $650 right now or something like that. I'm not sure. Me personally, I want the most immersive feel. So eventually I'm gonna get that other piece. They do sell it in pieces, so that's probably how I'm gonna end up doing it. I'll probably try and go secondary though. You know, that way I go on the secondary market. It's not like how do you say, as expensive.
Yeah.
But that's something I do want, because I do have GT7 and the VR headset. The only thing I'm missing is a force feedback wheel, and we can get it going.
It sounds good, man. I don't know about spending all that money on those sim racing games.
I mean, to each his own.
Yeah, true.
People are gonna spend their money.
If I ever do get the urge, I mean, I'm just coming over here.
I do need to put you on GT and that VR. It's crazy.
I'm down.
It does give you that feel, you know, where you get kind of hot and itchy because you get anxious and you feel like you're actually driving fast and stuff. So just with the Fanatec wheel, that will definitely put it over. I hope to get one eventually. There you go, Pat. We're happy to see you. But,
yeah.
But
Boy, Matt the Explorer, what it do, boy?
Hey, we're loving your stuff out there, Matt.
Always,
If you're still watching, we appreciate the love, and we like to show love as well. So, keep doing your thing out there, man. We love how you've been excelling in graphics and music videos and all that other stuff.
Like Matt would say,
it's great to see you thriving, brother.
Like Matt would say, a lot of people don't be putting no respect on his name. Put some respect on my boy name. That's all I gotta say.
So, before we close this one out, because this is the last topic, do you have anything? I know you've been working in the studio.
Yeah, man,
You're trying to put out some more tracks for that EP you've been working on.
Yeah.
Is there anything you could give us, a sample, something?
Well, I could definitely. I have some music on YouTube. I will ask Chris to put the link in the bio. Just 2 little songs. Still dropping my EP. Just saving some money. It takes some money to do what you want to do. So saving some money to get some videos done. I might even do a little mic drop with Chris here soon. We've been talking about that. But as far as that, man, I'm just been writing a bunch of music, and I'm gonna head back to the studio soon. I'm gonna have a lot of new stuff coming out.
We lost connection. Oh, we're back. Technical difficulties.
Yeah. So anyway, like I was saying, I'm still dropping that Mention Me EP soon. I'm gonna add some more songs to it. I feel like 3 songs wasn't enough, so I'm gonna add some more songs to it, and I'm definitely gonna get back to dropping stuff and doing some videos soon. And I had a show with King Kyle Lee and my boy Big Homie Ice on the 24th of last month. I'm not sure what's gonna happen soon, but man, things are going really good right now, man.
Well, sounds good, Pat. I'm proud of you getting back out there, chasing your dreams. Not everybody has dreams, but not everybody actually takes the shot.
Yes, sir.
So
Appreciate that.
Kudos to you. I appreciate you joining us today. Thank you for showing up and showing love. Thank you all for watching today and showing your love. We appreciate all the love you guys send and everything you guys do for us, and all the shares, the likes, the subscribes. Thank you for everything. We appreciate it. Y'all, I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend, and happy Mother's Day once again.
Mother's Day to all the mamas out there.
To all the mamas. Y'all take care. Don't drink and drive.
Baby mamas.
Be careful out there this weekend. I know a lot of people are going to be out there for Mother's Day, so don't drink and drive. Just be careful. Stay safe. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. For CP Sports, I'm Chris.
And I'm Patrick.
Y'all have a good one.